Welcome back to No Cap Movie Recap. I am your host Denzel, and today we will be recapping Godzilla -1. Before we get right into it, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment on all platforms, especially on YouTube. I know you've been waiting. I know you're like, where have you been? I've been working. Okay, that's what I've been doing. But enough about me. 1945, end of World War II. Find a kamikaze pilot deserting his post, going AWOL, landing on an island, and he has his first encounter with Godzilla. He is then labeled a coward because of his lack of execution of fighting Godzilla. Then he goes back to his village to see it is also decimated from Godzilla's aftermath. So for the next few years, he's trying to rebuild his relationship with his wife, his child, and also with himself. He can't get past the shame that he's put upon himself due to the lack of execution that he decided not to do. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this movie was pretty good, pretty solid. And so as he struggles to make ends meet for his family, he joins this offbeat ex-boating crew who is through the Japanese seas finding mines to clear off after the war. So this is about 1 to 2 years after 1946, 1947. And what he realizes is that, or what Japan believes, is that they've destroyed Godzilla at this point. But they soon find out that Godzilla is alive and well. And so he's having to relive his past failures, and he has constant reminders of those past failures and always seeing Godzilla and always seeing what Godzilla would do. So he has to make a choice, this ex-kamikaze pilot. And I think this is a really good storyline to bring back the original and the authenticity of the Godzilla franchise, placing it back in Japan and tying it to this storyline with this ex-pilot. So I think they did a very good job. One of the key main points I wanted to bring out about this movie is that it focuses on finding meaning and one's value after failure, cowardness, dishonor, what have you. So the low points or the bad points of one's life. How do you bounce back? How do you regain yourself and your self-confidence? And that is by facing what you've been running from all this time head on. So I think that's good overall. I gave it about like a 6.9. I think that there were a few jumps where they would get to a point in the storyline, get to a crescendo in a part of the story, and then they would just drastically cut to another scene. I think they could have just kept the flow, let me experience the emotion all the way through that scene, and then bring me out of that scene into something else new in comparison, just cut me off that completion or that emotional cycle that I should have experienced. But I think in general, Godzilla was pissed. I'm telling you, Godzilla came out of the water, from Jump Street. He was ready to fight. So my thoughts on Godzilla was that they made him instinctive. And what I mean by that is that he was very mindless. Like he was a mindless Goliath that someone had to face, that they had to face, right? He didn't care about anything at all. If you were in the way, you're getting out of the way. And if you aren't out of the way, then he will make sure that you were not there anymore consciously, right? What I did like was his ray and the way that it was built up. His spikes would actually jolt out of his back. So each spike would have to come up and it would turn blue. So you see the build up. And once it had fully charged, all spikes would shoot down. And that's when the ray would come out. I think I liked that animation. It was great. So, and then I just like the ending of how they had to deal with him at the end. Innovative to me. I could tell that they took some time to think. They didn't just say, hey, let's just blow him up, right? Just put a bomb to him, blow him up, boom, he'll be gone. Like, thank God they didn't do that. I like the twists and the turns of how they had to think about Godzilla and how they had to game plan or strategize against him. So, like I said, I give it a 6.9. It was solid. It was pretty good. I think it's still good for a good watch. Some others may even say that it was better than what I gave it. But all in all, I think even Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 98%. I wouldn't have gave it a 98%. I think that's very generous. So I give it a 6.9. So, but with that, that's my recap. Make sure that you go and and go watch my other ones as well. I got plenty up there right now, and I'm going to make sure that I start giving you more. 2024 is about to roll through. I got to catch up a little bit. I've been out of pocket. I know, I apologize. I ain't even got my hat on, so, but it is what it is.